Good evening and welcome to the Hugh Hatrick Show in collaboration with the South African Motorsport Association. It is, of course, SMA Season 2, and we've got some of the top drivers from Tier 1 right here with us tonight. We have VSR Kennels. Give us a wave. Oh, Kennels, there you are. We have VSR Richard. Give us a wave there. And we've got SG VSR Wolfie. There we go. And Richard just made it literally as we were coming in there just before the start. So it's great to have you all with us tonight. We had a fantastic race there on Monday. I've been watching it. And we've got Panickpotato, who's about to join us as well. We'll let him come in a few seconds' time. It was incredibly close. And we have the pole sitter, VSR Kennels, who started in pole position. Tell me, Kennels, how did your race go?
Well, at the start, it was very stressful because it was my very first pole position in Tier 1 in the MSA Cup. I got the SMA Cup, and it was getting to me. And the guys behind me, my teammates, they just kept on telling me, "Be calm, you're doing well, keep calm, doing well." And it just started working on me, and made a silly mistake overfueling the car, and that's when I started losing positions. But overall, it was one of my best races I enjoyed.
Yeah. And we've got Panickpotato, who I believe won the race on Monday night. Welcome along, Panickpotato. It's good to see you. It's the first time I think you've been on one of our interviews. And it was a cracker of a race. So we'll come to you in a few seconds. And VSR Richard as well. You were right in the thick of it. I know at the end you were chasing Kennels as well to try and get back in that slipstream to see if you could cross the line and catch up with your buddies there who are a bit further up the field. But it's been a cracker of a season so far. And I'll ask you, Richard, how do you rate the championship so far and also on your performance?
To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of road cars. I like more the grade 4 and the grade 3 cars, but it's still great fun to compete. It's a challenge for me, finding myself in the middle of the pack the whole time, messing up my qualifyings. I would like to be in front there with Kennels and the guys, but I need to work on some stuff. But it's very enjoyable. Not my favorite, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is incredibly close. I could hardly keep up with Sean with his shouting in the commentary, as especially the first few laps there, because everything was happening so quickly. I mean, there was really nothing in it on those opening laps. And it was just one after the other, which was exciting. And how about you, Wolfie? How have you found the championship so far and your race on Monday?
No, well, the championship so far has been good. It's been fun. The road car is the same for me as with Richard. I'm not a big fan of the road cars, so it's a bit of a challenge. I struggle to get on pace. My teammates get sick of me because they have to help me to get on pace. But when I get it there, I'm quite decent. The championship has been, well, the last two races have been good. The first race was a disaster. I wasn't at home the week before, so I didn't practice at all. So one of those sectors on that first track was what did we drive? The bloody Mazda thing. One of those sectors, I couldn't nail it in such a short time, so I had a bad race. But yeah, the championship is good. I think there's still a few challenging combos ahead. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll take the lucks that come our way, and then try to deal with the bad ones when we get there.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite a thing because before in previous seasons, you've done a lot more kind of normal kind of racing cars, haven't you? Or that kind of combination. There were a few road cars as well, but you had a lot of GT3 cars, GT4 cars, different things. So this is quite different. What have you found the main challenge of driving these kind of road cars? I'll go to you, Kennels, to start with.
Well, first of all, I do love road cars on GT7. It's always been fun for myself, playing around with the cars, getting used to the way the weight transfers on the car, and you have to control the car when the rear comes out. It's a lot different to what the GR cars does, that's got performance parts on the suspension and all of that stuff. But what I did find very odd is with the road cars, the racing tires, you would expect the racing tires to make the car more grippier. But on the other side, the car feels better with sport tires than it does with the actual racing tire.
Really?
The car slides more with the racing tire than what it does with the normal sport tires.
Yeah, that's quite interesting, because I always thought the racing tires would give you that a bit more fun and a bit more kind of grippy. But I suppose if it helps the car handle a bit, make it a bit more progressive, a bit easier to kind of decide what it's going to do, then that's quite exciting. Because you've had quite a range of different cars to drive over the last few times. What's been your favourite car? I'll go to you, Richard, because I know you don't like your road cars so much, but what's been one of your favourites so far?
Yes, it's very good to say. I don't have a problem. It's not great fun for me. It handles a lot different on the braking compared to the grade 4s, grade 3s, grade 2s. So yeah, I'm struggling a little bit on that. So no, it's difficult to pick a favorite. Yeah.
Haven't had a favorite so far.
We've only done 3 so far, and I think if I can answer that question, I think the Nissan we had just now is the closest to a GR4 feeling than the other 2 that we had before that. So this car was handling a lot like a GR4, like the Scooby, the GR4 Subaru. It's similar handling.
Yeah. No, it's great. Now we've got Panickpotato with us. Welcome along.
Hope you all doing well.
Yes, and it's great to see you, and well done. Congratulations on your victory there on Monday night. It was a great race. It's the first time you've been on one of our interviews, so welcome along. You'll find that it's not too stressful. You can relax. I can only speak for myself. I can't guarantee that the other guys won't ask you difficult questions, but I know I will. It should be all right. But now we've got lots of people in the chat, which is great, and they're welcome to ask their questions as well. So we will go to that. We've got Clever Clothes, who I think that's Dana. I think that was the lady who was commentating alongside Sean on Monday night and did a fantastic job. I'm always impressed with the commentary team and the presentation of SMA races, because they really do a great job. And it's like watching a real motor race. You would have to almost look twice to see that it's a sim race. So they did well, as always, on Monday night and for the season. So, Panickpotato, as you won the race, tell us, what was it like to end up first, and what were what was your race like overall?
Extremely stressful. I'm sure, as you thought, was action-packed from the beginning. There was a great battle there with Kennels and Wolfie, or it was Kennels in the beginning and then Wolfie towards the end. There was no chance to breathe. It was constant fighting, constant pushing for positions. And then there towards the end of the race, I think we started to a little bit settle down. Gap opened up a little bit, but they were still right there. So just overall extremely stressful.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed just nothing in it between the cars in those early laps. And it was just like, I mean, it seemed like the camera on the screen was struggling to keep up with it all, as they were kind of flying past. And that first corner, I was saying in the pre-show, I was just amazed at how fast you were going around that first corner, because it's such a dip. And then you hit the kind of bump in the ramp as it comes up towards the wall. It's quite difficult to, you've got to have quite a lot of confidence to keep your foot in there. How did you find, what was your approach to that turn one? Was the car reasonably progressive, or or could it easily have gone wrong?
Oh, it very easily could have gone wrong, as we saw on the last lap of TT. It was pretty much just pure luck. You just had to stick it around the outside. I found worked best for me, and just hugging all the way against the wall. And then the bump was a little bit smoother there. But yeah, there was nothing much you could do if it did go. It was pretty much just purely luck.
Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of skill in there as well. So I'll go to Wolfie. I'll say, Wolfie, what was your favourite place to kind of overtake? Because it was a good circuit. There were a lot of kind of big hairpins and things like that. But because you were moving up that field well, what was your favourite kind of overtaking manoeuvre throughout the race there on Monday?
Yeah, well, it's basically only the one spot that was there at the end of the second sector, just before the last turn. So That right-left combination, the double apex on the left-hander.
Yeah.
There's the slowest part of the track, so the opportunities was going to present themselves there. It's always difficult at the beginning of the race when you're bunched up because, you know, people, they're not used to working together, so they shove their noses in sometimes when it's not actually the ideal opportunity, and then it causes a bit of havoc. We, at one point in time, we actually lost the slip to the front 6 guys in the early part of the race. Luckily, I managed to get ahead at that point and close that gap up to get back to the front guys, because otherwise my race was done. So I was just kept calm and just worked it slowly until I got with Panic and Deke and Fizz, and we had a close race all the way to the end. I just had to remind myself to paint a new livery to get the scratches off there from Panic. That livery is messed up now.
Oh my God, my bad.
No, man, all good. No, it was a fun race. Panic, Deke, myself, first there at the end, it was intense. As Panic said, there wasn't. You could not afford to make one mistake. It was. I had a bad exit out of the last corner every time. I couldn't nail that last corner, so Panic would just stay far enough ahead so I can't get a run into the first corner. And then I would catch up during the back straights. I'll catch up, and then it was only that one opportunity there on the double apex. So yeah, I had to make it work. It was fun. It was intense, but it was a lucky race. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Now, we have lots of great comments already. Floyd, Sean has said he can now see that Dylan is definitely a ladies' man. So, Dylan, he is saying that there must be people after you. There are, but... And Robin has said, Kennels, how does it feel racing for VSR?
You can be honest, Kennels.
Over to you, Kennels.
Sorry, I couldn't hear this. Everything was blurring out on my screen.
All right. Robin has asked, what's it like to race for the VSR team?
It's great. It's great. It's good. It's good to have a bunch of guys in the same pool as you and working together. Most of us sitting with more or less similar pace. Okay, I don't have the same race pace as them, but that's why I've joined them. I can learn a lot from them, and I'm definitely going to learn a lot from them. I'm going to try and be more on the podium.
Ah, fantastic. That's the thing. So what do you think the key thing is to driving these road cars really quickly, not just getting a kind of pole position, but for maybe people out there in the different tiers who are watching tonight, and I would like a few tips as to how to master these road cars. I'll come to you first of all, Panickpotato. How do you find the top ways of mastering these road cars?
I think the biggest thing about these road cars is just keeping your minimum speed up. So just not braking as much. Even if you have to brake slightly earlier, but just don't slow down as much as you think you should. You want to try and keep that minimum speed and your apex speed up because they have very little power. So yeah, you just kind of need to roll the car through. And also the other thing is using as much of the track as you can. It's not like a GT3 car where it's got some error. You need to abuse every last millimeter of the track.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an easy mistake to make by not using that. I know I'm whenever people watch me race, they say I'm turning in too early and not using the full width. And that you definitely, because you end up cutting and then you come out too early as well. So you don't get a good acceleration out when you do that. So no, that's a good one. So no, and I'll ask you the same question. I'll go to you, Richard. How do you find? Because obviously you're in a championship, all mainly road cars, and but you're doing well in it. You're very competitive. What's been your way of making the most of these road cars?
So I think the key in the outdoor races is to not battle at first too much. So let the front pack can pull away from you. Slip is key. So you can achieve a good overall race pace if you remain in the slip. If you start filling your fall behind, it's very difficult to catch the guys up that is using each other's slip. And then, yeah, on the braking, you need to come off the brakes much sooner than on the, in my view, from the grade 3 or grade 4 cars, to make the car turn better. And then, like Panic said, carrying as much speed in each and every corner, braking earlier, come off the brake, but carry as much speed into the corners as you possibly can, because it's road cars. It doesn't have the power of the grade 3s and grade 4 cars. So yeah, I think that is basically key. And all, like any other race car, use the whole width of the track that is in front of you to maintain a high speed.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Now, I'll go around and ask everyone what kind of machinery they're using in terms of their sim racing setup. I'll start with you, Kennels. What kind of sim rig and kind of details do you have when you're playing on the SMA Championship?
Well, I've got a rig. I don't know what the rig's name is called. I know Sean Clausen posted in the group the other day about a photo of the rig. But this was actually one of my friends that gave me the rig. I'm on the CSL Elite, so it's the first generation of the Fanatec wheel, the belt-driven Fanatec, and basically just with the standard CSL pedals with the load cell.
Yeah, yeah. Oh well, that's pretty good going, and it's getting you right up there. I'll go to you, Wolfie. What kind of setup do you have for this championship?
Remote.
A remote? Oh, fantastic!
No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say.
No, I'm just really straightforward. See, it's a normal belt-driven CSL with CSL rim. It's nothing fancy, and I think the V3 pedals is only real nice thing that I have on my rig is the Fanatec V3 pedals. I enjoy them quite a bit. Yeah, I think they've made a big difference to my racing. But other than that, it's straightforward. There's nothing special to my rig. So yeah, I think I've got a G-Tech. What's a G-Tech? Yeah, rig that I'm using. But CSL base, CSL rim, and then V3 pedals.
It seems like the Fanatec, everyone's been recommending the Fanatec wheel for me. They're all saying that there is a good one. Is it the DD2 or something, or the Plus? That special one that they brought out a little while ago. But yeah, no, it's all. There's so much tech now in it. There's so many different wheels, and it's trying to get one that works, gives the right feel. I know that Mammy Khan just bought the Thrustmaster T598, which is what I've got. And we had a wee chat about getting the settings, because when you first get it, it feels like you're nowhere to try and get the wheel to work. But I think Fanatec is a bit more adjustable, and I think it seems to be an easier wheel to kind of jump in and play and kind of get used to, which is kind of essential, especially when you're playing on console games. So no, that seems to be pretty decent. Now, I've been asked to say Votsek in the stream by Uma, and I don't know if Votsek is a bad word in South African or not, but but I've said it now. So there you go. Maybe who would be kind enough as to tell me what that means?
It's a polite Afrikaans way of telling you to piss off.
Yeah, accurate.
Well, at least now we know. Now we know. So that's the thing.
That's not polite at all.
Almost like you're fully.
Well, I don't know South African, so that's okay on my side. But so there we go. But now I'll go to you, Panickpotato, and then to Richard. We were talking about the what kind of rig that you have. I can see you're sitting in a rig there. But what kind of setup do you have for the championship?
I've got a good old T300 RS GT. Nothing fancy at all, just nice, comfortable wheel. And I've got a custom-built aluminum rig that me and my father put together. So that's really comfortable. That's helped me a lot. So just being comfortable during the race builds confidence, and that's probably the biggest thing.
Well, but I mean, the thing is, it shows you that whatever you have, when you feel comfortable in it, you can get the most out of it, and that's to some great performances. And to you, Richard, what kind of rig, what kind of setup do you have?
So my rig I got from Gert from Simulator Cave. I think it's not sure what they call it, but it's the standard rig that he sells to the customers. Very comfortable. I enjoy it. It's very stable. It's no slip or any movement or anything. So it's a very stable rig. Very, very, very good rig. Can handle high torque motors, although I'm only running an 8 Newton meter DD Pro with V2 pedals Fanatec and what is my steering wheel? It's the Formula, I think it's the Formula V2.5 that I'm running on under it. Yeah, but it's a very stable rig. Bought everything from Gert. So yeah, if the guys wanna upgrade, Gert is the guy to go to. He will make a plan. He will get you the right price.
Yeah. Well, we had a great show last week talking to all the sponsors. And it was really good fun to see how it's growing and how the whole championship is growing. Because my next question was, how did it feel being part of a championship now that has near enough 7 tiers in it, which is really incredible how it has grown. But you must feel quite chuffed that you're in the top tier and you're right up there and you're fighting for the top positions. But it's great to see that the SMA has so many drivers now. What's your take on the fact that the SMA has grown and you're now racing with a championship that has 7 tiers? I'll go to you, Kennel, first of all.
Well, it's a great job Robin is doing, trying to get as many people involved as he does. Because if you look at from when I started in sim racing, there's been so many groups created and so many different guys trying to do leagues and stuff. And with SMA, the way that it's been built and the way that it's run, I think it's just drawing a lot more people towards taking part in SMA, and that's a very, very good thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I'll go quickly to you, Wolfie. Your opinion on the SMA expanding to 7 tiers. What's your take on that?
No, I think again, credit to Robin and the guys. I think they've, as always, an admin always has a difficult job, but they're doing it very well. They're really growing the sport currently as it is. I don't envy them in what they need to do to run a championship like this. I'm part of a lot of things, and I know if you're the admin of anything, there's always challenges and problems to solve. And I think they're doing it very well, and they're getting us good exposure. And obviously, that can be seen by the way the league is growing. So I think it's well done to them. And I mean, if it continues to expand and grow as it's growing at the moment, we're only going to attract more talented guys, and it will become even more competitive. So the fact that we're on 7 tiers already, I think it's a huge achievement, and it's all down to Robin and the admin team, I think, that's putting this thing together. There's a lot of challenges for them. They have to sort it out themselves. They have to deal with me on a weekly basis. So it's all part of the fun, and they do a good job.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Now, we've just been joined by TNR Savvy. Welcome along, Savvy. It's good to see you.
Hi, everyone.
And tell us.
All right.
It's the first time I think you've been on our show, so welcome along to the Hugh Hatrick channel and to the interviews and collaboration.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And tell me, how did your race go on Monday?
Well, okay, let's talk about the race. So the race went fairly well. But kind of messed up the qualifying part. And since it's kind of a slipstream race, once you lose the slip, you're gone. So I was backed up behind VSR guys, by the way. Yeah, so I was backed up behind them, and it was challenging because I couldn't really fight for positions because I didn't want to sacrifice the slipstream because of the battles and all that. But I had to, Fred in the race, I had to, do my thing and go up for a challenge on the VSR guys, and but it went fairly well. It was fun. Not the results I expected, but it was fun.
Yeah, I think it's so close. It's going to be you win some, you lose some, isn't it? In terms of your types of performance, and if anything goes wrong, then it can ruin your race, and you just have to start again, isn't it? And hope that next week will be a bit better. But I wanted to ask another question. in terms of the kind of preparation that you have to make for this championship? Because I found out from the last couple of seasons, from MSA and season 1 of SMA, that you guys tend to practice in your teams a good bit during the week so that you're ready to give it your best on the Monday night for the live race. Are those preparations continuing? And for maybe new people who are watching tonight, I'll start with you, Richard. What kind of preparations do you do during the week with your team to try and get the practice in?
Yeah, after the Monday race, finishing up late on Tuesdays, normally we take the day off. There will be maybe 1 or 2 or 3 guys just putting in some laps to see what is the handling of the car, the grip, the times that we need to look at, more or less. And then normally on a Wednesday we would open a lobby and do some practice races and compare the lines between ourselves, what we are taking, where we are braking, acceleration, gear ratios, etc. And then we will run a race normally on a Wednesday night, and then towards the weekend again, Thursday, Fridays, it's a little bit slower because not everybody is part of it. Wolfie's social life is very hectic, so he already starts his weekends on a Wednesday, on a Thursday night, and obviously myself with also other obligations. Fridays we out. Thursdays normally out, and then on Saturday during the day, if we can get the team together, we've got our own WhatsApp group, and then the guys will ask what time we need to pitch up for a race or some practice. Then we'll do it maybe on a Saturday, but most probably on a Sunday, and then early Monday just before the main race, we'll do one last race and try to do some magic on the track. Yeah, I would say we practice in total. I would say for each race maybe 3 full races.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, for you, Panickpotato, you're quite new to the championship. I remember commentating in the MSA that you come in. But how have you found coming into the SMA and MSA championships? What has it been like to you jumped in and already did some very good performances? What's been your impression so far of this season's championship?
I would say very, very similar to last season. I was just shocked again at everyone. Like performance level, everybody is on top of their pace. They're all really, really fast. So yeah, it's a good challenge. And as much as I would say that I've gotten it fairly quickly, it's not easy at all, and everyone is pushing each other to the absolute limit.
Yeah, it certainly does seem. And I was going to say as well, I'll go back to you, Kennels, in terms of preparation. You've just joined the VSR team, as we were discussing earlier. Do you think that it's still absolutely vital to get as much preparation as possible to be able to do well in these races?
100%. Like Richard said, like on a Tuesday, some of the guys, what we do is we go and we check what's the specific stuff that we need to look out for, like corner cutting, where's the track limits, that kind of stuff, and then we discuss it with each other on the chat group, and we always give each other ideas where to go faster, what corner to cut, where not to cut, and by coming weekend, then we do the hard push racing laps, do a full race, and then that helps to prepare you for the Monday, because by coming Monday, then you fresh, everything is still fresh in your mind, and then you're ready for the race.
And you're ready to go. I was going to say now, in terms of the championship, you're kind of midway through. Who do you think is going to be if you give me 3 top drivers for the podium for the end of the season, who do you think is qualifying at the moment for maybe a good finish by the end of the season? You're welcome to nominate anybody here.
Richard and Panickpotato.
Yeah.
I can go first. I think Panic is doing very well this season. I think he will be up there with Deacon. And don't throw away Kennels. I think he's in the right team now, so he's got blessed in myself, I'm going to miss a couple of races. Wolfie, I think you're going to miss a couple of races. Unfortunately, coming now towards the end of the year, some obligations and work strat sessions and stuff that you need to attend. So unfortunately, I will not be racing every single race this season. But yeah, so no, I'm out. For top 3, I think that would only be a miracle. And that would maybe happen if there's 2 or 3 disconnects by Panic and by Beacon.
I know, that's the thing. It was quite funny there. We've had a question there from Corbin Maggot, which I think is Captain Slow, and he says, what advice does the panel have for me to be faster than a D-rated driver? But Sean has already stepped in by saying, just beat all the D drivers. So that was a great, I think that's actually quite a good
answer.
Here's the
Can I
point.
also answer that? Stop battling the first 5 laps.
That was it.
You use the pace of the front runners and make it happen towards the middle, towards the end of the race.
Yeah, but I saw
If you
Captain
stop
Slow was in
battling,
11th
stop
place.
battling in the beginning, you just slow yourself down. That's it.
Yeah.
But he's in the top tier, so that's pretty good going. Because that's the top one to be in. So it's definitely a good start. Now, TNR
Yeah.
Whipperman has said to Kennels, he says, don't cut corners, he's saying, with a LOL at the end of it. What would you say is probably the easiest mistake to make in one of these races? I'll go to you, TNR Savvy. What would you say is an easy mistake to make driving these road cars?
The easiest mistake you could make, since everybody's pace is phenomenal in this league, so the mistake you would make is making a mistake in the race, meaning maybe going off grass, maybe touching the wall, which I did the previous race, and kind of lost 2 positions. I remember by Gila and Mad Mike. Yeah, so yeah, that's probably the easiest mistake you could make, losing out of the slip. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll go to you, Panickpotato.
For me, something that's been plaguing me since I joined MSA last season, fuel. Just underfueling the car, especially with the 20 times refuel rate. It's really easy to misjudge that. And it can ruin your whole race from there.
Yeah, that is a hard one because you've got to think on your feet as well, isn't it, in terms of during the race, because the situation can change very quickly. And that was actually going on to actually for my next question was in terms of strategy. Is the strategy this year and this season, is it working out to be quite a challenge, or is it quite straightforward? I'll go to you, Wolfie, for that one.
No, I think the settings are straightforward. The strats are fairly easy. I think the setup is good for producing good racing and getting the guys to compete on track. You're not gonna. So far, you weren't going to win a race by having an alternative strat. There was basically one strat. The way the cars perform, you need to be up close to the front guys. You need to be in the slip. You need to be in the correct position all the time. So it's about racing on track, and I think that's one thing they got right in the season. The strat doesn't have such an effect on the race. It's all about your pace and performing on track. So I think the guys did well to get the settings that way and just make us race.
That's good. And how about you, Richard? How do you find the strategy on that?
To be honest, I find the strat a little bit boring because there's actually only one strat to do. Especially with the road cars, I would have liked to see a slower fuel rate. It will spice up things and change things. If you sit in the slip, you can save some fuel. You can jump somebody in the pits eventually if you've got more fuel. So I would have liked to see a slower fuel rate, especially on these road cars. Everything, because as the guys go into the slip, fuel is no factor. A tire is a little bit of a factor. Most of it is one stopper. The way you go into the pits, it's that pattern that everybody comes up. It's nearly impossible to jump anybody in the pits to make undercut with your pit. So yeah, I think the strategy it's should have been better, but we'll right for it as it is.
Yeah. Fantastic. Now, I'm going to open up the panel, opening up to see if you wanted to ask any of the other chaps on the panel here any particular question. regarding maybe a race or an incident or anything like that. Do you have any questions for each other that you would like to ask? I'll open it up to you. Or perhaps you might be asking advice as some of your teammates in the same team.
Don't worry, Panic. I've already repaired the livery, but no worries.
Oh, okay, perfect. Great stuff. Yeah, I might need to ask Dion to repair round 2's livery still. I don't think the walls left a good mark on that car.
Yeah, the cars. We still have to repair the cars. They've got no doors left.
No, completely gone.
I'm going to say as well, how do you find GT7? Because there's been talk of a major update, I think, coming in potentially in December, which is going to radically
Can't wait for the new
transform.
tracks.
Yeah, it's going to be good to get the new tracks in Abu Dhabi, and I think, is it Canada? I think it is.
Yes,
The other one?
Couture Villeneuve. Yes,
Yeah.
Canada.
So that's going to be an interesting one. It's quite interesting that they've got in Abu Dhabi as well, because that's that's a real proper Formula One track. But I think that could be quite good. It's also got a few different ranges with that track, and there's a few different setups that they can have, because I think there's like a short track as well. So if they've got access to that, it could be quite fun. And also it's a kind of night track. I wonder perhaps if GT7 will involve the lighting. And it'll be like a kind of night race as well, like they do in real life. But are you quite looking forward to, obviously, as the championship goes, there'll be some new tracks as well, maybe for new seasons to come. What kind of difference do you think that might make? I'll ask you, Kennels, first of all.
Well, it's a new track, and new track is always nice because I can remember when we had what was it, Grand Valley. When Grand Valley came out, everybody was like so going for the track. Everybody wanted to race on the track, and it's you can then see people that don't know the track get on the track. Then you can see who's got the real pace, and that's something that I'm looking forward to, getting on a new track and seeing who's the fastest on that track by let's say a week or what.
Yeah, and I think they've promised new cars as well, which is going to be fun.
Yeah, the Ferrari GT3 Ferrari.
Yeah, because that's been. I think a lot of people are desperate for new GT3s and GT4s, and just to update the range of cars. So hopefully we will get that and see how it goes. In fact, Corbin Maggot has asked, what made Kennel's move to VSR? It's a great team, and he's very happy for you.
First of all, it is because most of the guys at VSR has got the similar pace than what I've got and what I'm aiming for. I want to be faster. I want to be competing at the top. And by having more guys running with me in Tier 1, with similar pace than what I have, helping me with adjusting to race condition, getting my consistency better, and keeping my head smooth and calm when I do a race. Because when I'm alone, like for instance in Tier 1, racing against 3 or 4 different teams, it's kind of difficult keeping yourself calm if you're by yourself running in a tier 1 race. So that's basically the main reason. I just want to be better and faster.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Now Robin has asked a question for the MSA Africa Cup and the Nationals with GD7 Spec 3. What do you think about the future of SMA? I'll go to you, Panickpotato.
I think it's looking quite promising, especially with how well Robin's been able to grow SMA now. I mean, 100 people, 7 tiers, I mean, each broadcast getting a lot of views, and just the quality of the broadcast, I think it's looking really, really positive, and I think we have a great future ahead of us there.
Yeah. And I'll get the same question to you, TNR Savvy. Oh, I think your microphone is off.
You're muted, bud.
Operator error.
Oh, are you on there, Savvy? You need to put your microphone
Sorry,
on.
nice excuses. Unmute.
I think you're muted.
You're muted, Savvy.
Oh, there we are. Oh, it's gone again.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
That's okay.
All right, there you go. Okay, yeah. To repeat my answer, it's looking very promising. We are definitely going in a good direction, and I'm just glad to be part of this growth of South African sim drivers, and in the gaming community. So yeah, really looking forward to big things in SMA and MEC.
Yeah, it is great. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's fantastic to see everybody from all walks of life across South Africa coming together to play this amazing game and take part in these championships with some great prizes. I mean, they really are going out to give really good prizes and make it exciting, and everyone in the different tiers can still have a chance to win something really rather nice, and it's a kind of special emblem to remind them of this, what the community is like. I think it's wonderful to see the camaraderie and the just people helping each other out, and also we can have a lot of fun together as they drive on this championship, which is great. Now, Corbin Maggot has asked a question for Savvy. Are you faster than Dylan?
Am I forced to answer that question?
Yep, that's the question.
Answer honestly,
Well,
sir.
Dylan, I'll definitely give it to you. You like the way you improved, the way you just became a demon out of nowhere. Like when he joined TNR, he wasn't as quick as me. He wasn't quicker than me. That's something I was confident about, and I just don't know what happened. He just became a demon, and yeah, this is my hands now. I give it to
Well,
you.
thank you, sir. Thanks, sir.
No, that's a good question. I mean, the thing is, you're all very, very quick, and it's great to see. And I know, I think you'd all probably admit that you've all improved, isn't it? Because the more practice you have, the more competitive you get. But the championship is very, very close, and you can still end up. I mean, you see, because after 4 rounds, you can still go down a tier or go up a tier, and it's giving everyone a chance to kind of get their grips as to what kind of speed they can produce and to how close they can be with their rivals. So it makes it very exciting for the viewers out there. But perhaps as we come towards closing the show, what would be, if you could have a top tip for a new driver who's perhaps just joined the SMA season, and what would be your top tip for a new driver joining the season? I'll start with you, Kennels.
Do your best to stay clean and learn from others.
That's a good one.
When you race with someone in a lobby, learn from them. Always take note of how they drive, what they do, and learn. You will never learn enough.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'll go to you, Wolfie.
No, I think it's just putting in the time. When I started, I was obviously not that fast. It took time. There was a time where the old LNR, where we joined LNR and we were driving in pool 6 and 7. And just over time, you just got better. You have to put in the time, put in the laps, and as Kettle say, learn. Whoever you race with, if he's beating you, just learn. Ask, learn, and put in the time. I think now that we're on this level, myself, with, as Richard mentioned, our social and work schedules is hectic. I don't put in close to the amount of time I did back then. And my teammates actually put in all the time. I just arrive on a Sunday and I quickly learn what they've done, and I fall into the crowd. So no, in the beginning, it's just put in the time, learn from the guys around you, ask, make contact, and just take in as much information as possible. And then obviously good etiquette, drive clean, so that people want to drive with you. I think that's also important. So, I mean, there's a lot of young guys as well in here. I mean, Panic and those oaks are flying already, and I mean, they've got lots of time to still get better and improve. So, yeah, I think the time and the effort and just learning.
Yeah. Fantastic. This is going to get harder for the people in the bottom three, for Savvy and Panickpotato and Richard, because you've got to come up with some more original tips as we ask for new drivers. But I'll come to you, Savvy. What would be a top tip for a new driver from your point of view?
Considering that I'm also young myself, I'm mostly new because started getting into seriously getting into the game this year around March when I joined TNR. So top tip is put in the time. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and always be consistent. Always be consistent. Always try to be consistent on the game, and always try to improve. Never ever say you're on your limit. So yeah, I would say that's my top tip for tip of the day, as I would say.
That's great. And the panic potato.
Surround yourself with the best people you can. Surround yourself with the fastest people. Don't ever settle for less. If you can find a place where there are rapid people, join in, try and get involved with them, race with them, because as Kennels and Wolfie did, that's how you learn. And then don't be scared to compare yourself to the best. In most sports, you don't want to compare yourself to the top because it's going to be a losing battle. But here in racing, comparing yourself to the best can only help you because you just see exactly what they're doing. You can see what you can do better and how to improve yourself as a driver.
Fantastic. That is very good. Very good indeed. And finally to you, Richard, what's your top tip for a new driver entering SMA?
I think a lot of the drivers mentioned about everything. Tip from my side, I'm almost on pension now. But for the new guys coming up, I think two things very important: patience, and you don't win it on the first lap. So that will help you to be more consistent. You can always have an advantage by driving behind somebody that's very fast and see what lines are they taking, instead of trying to overtake them or going much later on the brakes. There's a reason why the driver is fast, because he brakes early enough, so you can accelerate out of the corner much sooner. And yeah, so be patient, see what the other drivers are doing in front of you, and don't try to win on the first lap.
That's the thing. And we've just been joined by Woody Boy 77, who is a star on GT7. I know he'll never admit to this. He doesn't like having any kind of flattery. But he is actually one of my fastest friends. Whenever I look on a GT7 time trial, and Woody Boy has been on there, he's always up there. He's even can beat people like Tidney. So it's good to have you along, Woody Boy. It's a pity. I know there's only a championship for South African drivers, but my goodness, we all know some people who would, if we could do a kind of guest appearance, that could add a bit of spice to it as well, I'm sure. But no, it's great to have everybody in watching and asking questions. And Corbin Maggot has said, Dylan's top tip is never doubt the D-rated wisdom. That is very true. But no, it's great to see everyone coming in from different, yes, you might be A-rated or B-rated, but you're still getting a chance to get into good tiers in the championship and put on a great display. And I'm going to say, the admin team, they're obviously done a huge job getting new sponsors. The commentary team with Sean and the guest commentators that have come in have been doing a fantastic job. Is there anything you would like to say to them? It could be comments, it could be advice, it could be good or the bad. You're free to say what you'd like to say. I'll start with you, Kennels.
Sorry, the thing is breaking up. I couldn't hear the question. Sorry.
Your opinion on the broadcast team and admin. Any good words and things to say to them?
Well, they're doing one of the best jobs in SA at the moment with running this the whole way that they do the broadcasting on the race itself. It makes the already action-packed race even more exciting, with the commentating and afterwards the editing and the overlays and stuff that's there. It's actually pulling in a lot more attention towards the stream and also towards SMA. And I think as well with all the sponsors that's coming along, it's pulling a lot of attention. So that's very good, and I think it's definitely one of the best in SA.
Fantastic. In fact, now we've just had breaking news here from Robin. He's saying SMA is looking at hosting an international season. What are your thoughts on that? I will go to you, Wolfie.
Thanks. I saw the question popping up and I immediately had an opinion that I wanted to share. I think it's a brilliant idea having an international season, and I think the guys would enjoy that. It will definitely also raise the bar to compete with overseas drivers, but I think it mustn't be a permanent thing. We want to foster and develop South African talent. So doing an international season would be good, but I think we should not move away from the normal traditional South African league that we're building now, because we want to get our local drivers to get better and compete and get them on a better level. So I think doing a once-off season will be great, but we must still keep the focus on getting South Africa as a whole, the racing community, stronger and better. And to do that, we need South African guys racing South African guys on streams with people doing broadcasting and everything as it's done at the moment. The broadcasting team is doing an absolutely amazing job. I'm a car fanatic. My family don't care about cars. We're all about hunting and fishing and other things, but my whole family is watching the streams all of a sudden because the streams are done brilliantly. So tops to them. And I think the race with Finland at the end of the previous season, I think that is something that can be worked on definitely to host more of those kind of events, where we actually race together united, not as teams but as South Africa. It was a good experience racing with Panic and those guys, and Savvy and all of them in the Finland race. So we all got to know each other a bit better, and it helps with the camaraderie and just understanding each other on track and so forth. So yeah, I think the international season is a good idea, but we should not lose focus on the South Africans themselves.
Yeah. Fantastic. No, that's great. And I'll come to you, Richard, finally, for your thoughts on these international championships. What would your view be on that?
No, I like it. I think the Wolf has summed it up 100%. I like it. I also think we need to look at the lower tiers for international race and not always pick the top drivers. Give the other some racers also a chance to compete overseas. But I would like to keep it locally, and like Wolfie said, so yeah, that's my view.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, it's been amazing to have you all on the show tonight, and to get your views on the championship, to see how you've done in the races. And I do wish you all the best for the rest of the season. I will be commentating at some point alongside Sean. We've got a couple of dates in mind later on towards the end of the title. But we'll be looking forward to see who's going to cross that line first of all, and who's going to get that championship, who's going to get the trophies, and what controversy and dodgy moves might be along the way as well. But I'm sure you're all far too clean for any nonsense and any dodgy moves. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you tonight, and to have you along here to be able to give your opinions on the championship. And of course, the top tips that you gave us earlier. So stay on the line as we end the stream. But to everybody watching the stream, you can actually hit the subscribe button for the SMA Championship to make sure that you don't miss a great race every Monday night. It's a fantastic thing. Normally from, I think it's about 7:30 South African time. We'll confirm that, I'm sure, in the comments there. But make sure you subscribe to the SMA, and a big round of applause and a big thank you to our guests here. We've got Kennels, we've had Wolfie, we've had Panickpotato, we've had VSR Richard and TNR Savvy, who is there in the background there as well. We'll bring him back in there. It's been fantastic to have you all with us, and we can't wait to see you race again on Monday night. But as the motto goes, drive fast, don't crash. See you very soon. Bye just now.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.